Welcome to the Flavorfest Urban Leadership Podcast, where we talk to innovative artists, creative pastors, church planners, entrepreneurs, and people creating movements. Our goal is to inspire and equip you in ministry, music, and the marketplace. I'm your host, Tommy Urban D. Coloni. What's good, family? We are back with episode 27 of the Flavorfest Urban Leadership Podcast. I got my guy with me right here, Pastor Darnel Butler.
What's up? What's up? What's good?
Worship and arts pastor here at Crossover Church. This guy was a major part of Flavorfest on the stage and especially behind the scenes as well. Him and his team were moving, making everything happen. I mean, we just had an incredible conference. And I mean, it was about a month ago now. We needed some time to breathe and
absolutely.
to rest a little bit. So we were meaning to do this earlier, but we were just busy and resting. But yeah, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good now. Feeling good. With this position, you go from one thing straight into another thing.
I know.
So,
I know. Sunday's coming.
It's
always
like
coming, bro.
Something else coming, but I'm still feeling good, man. I feel really good about the conference.
Yeah, man. So what was one of your favorite moments from Flavorfest 2021?
Oh, man. So many incredible moments from Flavorfest. I think, you know what? It doesn't seem like it, and it may not be like, oh, that was his favorite moment. But I think, honestly, my favorite moment was just even the beginning, seeing everybody get here. You know, it was that talk of, because of what's happening with the virus and stuff, people aren't going to show up. But to see how hungry people were and to see people come and flood in these rooms and their hearts were so hungry for information. The production side, it's not like, oh, that's what the production guy liked. But for me, I mean, that's the other side of me. It was like, man, these people really needed this. So that was my favorite part, was seeing the people come and be like, pour into us, please. That's really what it was like.
Yeah, man, I agree, because Flavorfest this year was like extra special.
Yeah.
Because the last year and a half has been so challenging for leaders to try to just navigate everything. And even a lot of people that come to Flavorfest are from other states.
Yeah.
And we're in Florida, and it's a lot more open and free here. But in a lot of those other states, man, they still have restrictions even now. And a lot of their churches didn't open up until just months ago.
Right.
And so, we at Crossover in Florida here in Tampa, we've been open since October of 2020, and so we've been open for a minute, navigating everything. But so I think for a lot of people, just even to come in this kind of environment where, it was like we felt like we're back.
Yeah.
People
Absolutely.
were just, felt so good just to be back in person in the room, and everybody's needed to have some fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like that pent-up demand of like, man, we've been, locked down for so long. We haven't been able to go to anything. Nobody was doing conferences or concerts or events hardly.
It was legit a family reunion.
It was, man.
It legit was a family reunion just to see everybody. This was only my second one. And so for even me, because my very first one, it was kind of just, I was just thrown in there and was like, okay, go. So this one I was able to really reflect and be like, yo, from last year or whatever it was. And I really felt like this was much needed. Just a time of, although we were pouring into and learning, it was just the fellowship of everyone saying, man, it's so good to see you guys. And almost that we made it. Kind of like, yo, we made it.
We still
man.
here.
Yeah, that whole thing. So it was awesome.
Yeah, man. And we were just excited to share with other churches like what we've been doing at Crossover to innovate during this time, because our church hasn't just barely survived. We've really been thriving during this season. And so it was so good to welcome people into our house and to see what was happening. And I mean, the concerts, the conference, all the different elements. There's so many different elements of Flavorfest.
Right.
But first of all, you're the worship guy. So let's talk about worship for a minute, because Thursday night when we opened up, that was the first opening general session for the public, for everybody was invited to come. And I mean, the room was packed, and you guys remix worship. Like, you guys tore it up.
So what's so so funny about that. So I got so many compliments Thursday night. Like people were like, yo, the worship, the songs, all this kind of stuff. And what is so crazy about that behind the scenes was, so the opening that we did, I wanted to do something special for the opening. I just knew I wanted to do something special.
Talk about the opening if people didn't see it.
So the opening, we brought out a good friend of ours, Elijah McGill. He came out and did this spoken word piece, and we were using the central focus was talking about how big our God was, because we were just coming out of this thing, and we all made it here was like, look how big God is. And he did this spoken word on how big he is. And I couldn't find a song really to kind of go with it. We had a song, but I didn't want to start it like that. I wanted something that kind of showcased more the talents and the gifts that Remix Worship has. Mm-hmm. So it was like 2 weeks before Flavorfest, and I wrote an opening. And so it was literally 2 weeks.
I remember you were in the studio.
I was in the studio, yes,
some of the
me and Q.
other producers.
And we were like, yo, we got to do something. We're trying to come up with this crazy stuff and everything. So 2 weeks before, we gave it to our band, and it was honestly probably the hardest track our drummer has ever had to play. Like the way we were orchestrating it and everything. So, I mean, these guys took it, and in 2 weeks, maybe 2 rehearsals, I think, they just executed it, got our rappers on it, got the team on it. There was no BGVs in the track or anything. It was just authentically just their voices singing.
Tell everybody what a BGV is.
Oh, the background vocals.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, multi-tracks. You might put some background vocals in there. But no, this was authentically just them.
All real.
Singing, choreography.
No Milli Vanilli.
Yes. Did the whole thing, and we did 45 minutes of straight worship.
Yeah, it was. It was extended, but it didn't feel like it. It was just everybody was
brought in some guest singers and stuff and rappers and stuff and just put it all together. And so it was so funny because when we started, everybody was standing up, but as the worship leader, you see everything. So everybody's eyes were just like this, just kind of looking like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until we got to a song where like they really kind of knew. They were like, oh yeah, this is praise and worship. Yeah. But everybody was coming to us afterwards like, yo, first of all, where can we get that track? Where can we get this? And it was like, oh, we literally just recorded it. Like, so it was a lot of fun, man. It was definitely a lot of fun, but man, it happened so quick. A lot of people don't realize how quick that team learned all that stuff.
Yeah, so where can people find it? We're gonna show a clip.
Yeah.
But so set up the clip that we're gonna show, and then like tell everybody where they can see like the whole thing.
Okay, so the clip that you're gonna see, we'll do a little bit of Pastor Elijah doing the spoken word, and then it went right into this intro that I wrote and brought out 2 of our crossover MCs to rap on this thing. And these guys just nailed this thing to the T. I was like, I don't have words for it. I told them the beat I kind of wanted with it, and these guys just took it there. But it's on YouTube. It's on Flavorfest YouTube page or Crossover Church YouTube page. It's in our remix
Crossover
worship.
813.
Yep, Crossover 813.
Flavorfest.
Bam. The YouTube page, and you can see the extended version, the whole thing of all of worship. But check this out, man, because it was fire.
This sizeless, matchless, unmeasurable God is here, and even in all of his splendor, he loves you.
When trouble starts rising and the enemy is trying to take my eyes off the horizon, he's still a great big God. When people start talking about the way that I've been walking, I just block out all the noise and say he's a great big God. And you may not know my story, just know that he gets all the glory, 'cause what he does for me, yes, he's a great big God. So heed my warning, 'cause I'ma keep on singing, 'cause joy comes in the morning, and he's a great big God. My God is bigger than anything you can fathom, fam. Stronger than the Taliban, brought Daniel out the lion's den. My God, he is the greatest of all. From the birds and the bees to the ants that crawl. Like when you slip, he right there to pick you up when you fall. With the same love as before, like you ain't done it at all. The definition of forgiveness, you my voice to be a witness. He'll work it out, no fitness, he the greatest of all. Yeah.
Creator of the earth, the moon, the sun, the stars, you like our foundations, imploder of quasars. You are Elohim, how can we fathom who you are? And we are all in love, King of Kings, You are the Lord of Lords. We want to see your glory with splendor and galore. Come, King Jesus, in this we are implored. Tell them remix how we feel about our Lord.
Hey world, here we come. Remix on the stage like a big bass drum. We're loud with our worship and we're rowdy with our praise. Cause he's a great big God. Hey world, here we come. Remix on the stage like a big bass drum. We're loud with our worship and we're rowdy with our praise. Cause he's a great big God. Hey world, here we come. Remix on the stage like a big bass drum. We're loud with our worship and we're rowdy with our praise. Hey, cause he's say our God is greater. Say our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher. Cause he's a great big. Our God is greater. Our God is stronger. God, you are higher. Hey, let the band play. Let the band play.
See, look at that, y'all. That's my worship team right there. I'm proud, man. We got so much talent at Crossover Church, and Pastor Darnel, man, has done such a great job at organizing, curating, developing, training that talent, and putting it all together. And it's been amazing. Hey, side note, really quick. I didn't even plan on talking about this, man, but talk about. This is another thing he does as well. We do productions at Crossover, so we did the Hip Hop Nutcracker, we did the Wiz. Tell everybody what we're about to do this December.
It's like, so 2 weeks from, 3 weeks from today. Holy cow. Well, the day we're filming this. Woo. 3 weeks from today, we have our opening night. It's The Greatest Showman, a Christmas remix. And so that's what I was talking about earlier with, like, Flavorfest was happening, but we were still in rehearsals. We were still in production mode for The Greatest Showman. So I had to switch modes into Flavorfest, came right out of Flavorfest and was like, right back to the production.
Because you guys started in like July, right?
We started July and then rehearsals started August, and it was just constant going, and we rehearsed. So we got a week off because of Flavorfest, but then it was like, okay, jump right back in because we moved our production up this year. It's earlier this year, and it's a lot more intricate than even the last two that we've done. Something about me, I told Pastor Tommy, I was like, I'm gonna make this one real easy. It's not gonna do too much.
Nah, man, he's always like,
I'm like, nah,
notching it up a little bit more.
The Wiz was great. I got to go to the next level.
The Wiz was crazy.
So we're excited about that. The team has been working really, really hard. You've got a lot more singing, dancing. It's a lot more complicated in this production. This one is because it was such a big hit movie and not really on Broadway. I had to take pieces and try to make, how do you make it work for the stage? So it's going to be phenomenal. Ticket sales have been incredible. Matter of fact, I don't know when you guys are going to watch this, but we have live stream options available too.
Yeah, because most people are watching this from somewhere else. They can't come physically to Tampa. They can't come physically
see it.
So how can they watch it online?
You can go right to our website, crossoverchurch.org, and click on the banner for The Greatest Showman and get the live stream tickets there, and then we'll send you the link, and you can have a watch party with your family. I encourage you to watch it. It's going to be a phenomenal show. This year really took me out of my element because I'm usually just the writer and the director, and the lead role, P.T. Barnum, was such a big role.
He is P.T. Barnum.
Nobody auditioned for P.T. Barnum, so my team of directors and I were sitting there.
That smoke, so you had to take it, bro.
So we sat in that meeting, and they were like, "You're gonna have to play P.T. Barnum." I'm like, "Oh." So this year, I'm writing, directing, and starring. And so,
wow.
It's
been pray for this guy.
Yeah,
y'all.
Pray for me.
It's the hardest working.
But it's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be
around.
absolutely fun. We got so much talent here at Crossover. We've got kids. We've got wise people. We'll call them wise people. But the age ranges and everything. It's gonna be an awesome production that you guys are gonna be able to see the talent that we have here at Crossover Church.
Awesome. So all right. So we'll shift gears.
Yep.
Go back to Flavorfest. And I think another thing for me that was super noticeable this year and which was kind of crazy was we had more than half the people that attended the conference were new.
Yeah, first-timers.
It was their first time because, we asked several times in some of the general sessions, and more than half of the hands were like, it's my first time. And we have thousands and thousands of people that are Flavorfest alumni. Mm-hmm. Many of them wanted to come, but just because of the pandemic and just kind of maybe where they were at in this season, they weren't able to come in person. But so we were nervous a little bit.
Yeah.
As we had a spike of cases here in Florida in July and August, and some people were hitting us up like, y'all still doing that conference down there? We heard it's crazy down there. We're like,
Right.
"Yeah, well, it's going to be better by then because, we looked at everything like we're praying. It's going to come down. And praise God it did. In September, it got much better. By the time October rolled around, the cases were we had really like the lowest cases in the country. We still do now as filming this. But so the crazy thing was we only had, I think, 7 people less in person at the conference than we had in 2018.
Yeah.
But we did the online option, which we didn't have before. So there was several dozen people that got that package. So technically we had more people at the conference. But then the concerts, like, man, Florida's ready to come out, y'all. Like, we out doing everything down here. We had more people at the concerts this year than we had at the last Flavorfest, like more than 100 tickets more.
Yeah, they were ready.
So it was packed. And, man, praise God, nobody got COVID or nobody got sick from being at Flavorfest. We had nobody call us and say, hey, I tested positive. And, we have a big building and everybody could spread out. And so God protected us. We had a lot of prayer covering on it. But yeah, man, it was amazing. So, a lot of first-time guests.
Yeah.
I want to show a video of a first-time guest. And some of you guys, you're probably going to hear more. I'm going to have this guy on the podcast in the future. But this guy actually was writing him letters as he was in jail the past 7 years and 8 months. His name is EI. Goes by EI. He's a Christian hip-hop artist as well. And was just discipling him. He was getting discipled by some other people, actually a chaplain in the prison and whatnot. He was growing in his faith. This guy actually from jail was sending tithe checks in.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard of that from anybody. Usually people will send a letter and want something, and we did send him books and magazines and stuff like that. We sent him resources, but I mean, he was tithing from prison. Crazy. So anyways, he just got out like the week before Flavorfest. And we hooked it up and got him an apartment right here in the neighborhood by the church. So he moved in. He's like an urban missionary. He's out on the block almost every day, ministering to people, giving out cards. Somebody came to church last Sunday that he met on the block. And God is really using him. And so he got out the week right before Flavorfest. He's a hip-hop head. He's an artist. So he was like super excited to be here. So check out this little clip from him as he talks about his first Flavorfest experience.
Yo, and I made so many kingdom connections at Flavorfest. It was crazy. And I've already followed through with many of them. And I was even able to link with my dog Greg, a part of City Takers Southwest Florida, when I was in Fort Myers and pulled up on them in one of their outreach events. So not only as we continue to build in fellowship, but continuing not only that connection, but being able to learn from them and what God's doing in and throughout City Takers Southwest Florida, and how I can glean from their approach to winning the city and representing Christ and proclaiming the gospel, and just grind and co-labor with them, man, for kingdom purposes, man. Salute.
All right, it's my man EI. So, man, Pastor Darnel, let's go back to the first night and kind of walk through what happened at Flavorfest. Let's talk about the fashion show, since you were one of the voices, one of the hosts of the fashion show.
Fashion show was always phenomenal because I am a Christian t-shirt like junkie. I wear them. I love to wear them every single Sunday, every single week. I love them.
Send this man your t-shirts. He will wear it in front of thousands.
I will.
I'm giving you a plug, bro.
But because of the message, I love the message, and because I'm standing up there for a while, and some people are looking, they'll always come and say, "Where'd you get that? What does that mean?" It's also a testimony tool. I took my family to Disney World like 2 days ago, and wore a Christian t-shirt. I wore KB's, Not Today, Satan.
Yep.
And everywhere I was going, in line, people behind me, bro, where's that shirt from, man? Gotta get that shirt. I love it, but it's not just not just that I love the shirt, I love the message that it sends. And I love that people ask the questions or want to know about it and everything. So to have a fashion show showing all these different things, all these different elements, and we had some incredible clothing lines. We had your line, Eternal.
Yes,
we had Native, right? Yeah, Eternal. There it is. Plug. All right.
Yeah.
We had Native.
Native, my man KB from right here in Tampa, HGA.
Yep. Who else we had? We had
from Atlanta, Unapologetic.
Unapologetic.
We love their stuff.
Oh.
Yep. And then all the way from Grand Rapids, Michigan, we had Hustle, Pray, Eat.
Yeah, man. So incredible lines, incredible designs, the concepts, the creativity of the clothing wear was just a lot of fun. But we think it's great because we have all those vendors out there in the lobby. So right after those fashion shows, and when they see that stuff, they'll go eat that stuff up, you know, and they'll go out there and do that. So we had a lot of fun with that. I got to host it again this year with my sister Jessica. We had a great time with it. We had Angie Rose, right?
Yep.
Angie Rose kicked it off.
Rocked it.
Yeah, man. And Elijah McGill actually did music too. So it's just a lot of fun, you know, to kind of come out of what seems like a service and we're doing this thing and then just like literally just have fun talking about the clothing lines and everything. So that was always fun.
Yeah, and we feel like fashion, man, it fits right in with our culture, with Christian hip hop, with urban ministry. You know, we like to have our style and everything. And so we haven't seen anybody that's really done an urban fashion show with our brands. And so there's so many brands out now that are doing really well and thriving. And so we wanted to kind of give a platform to that. And like Pastor Darnel said, a lot of those brands, they all had booths out in the lobby. And man, people were buying stuff up like crazy. And then, you know, you get to represent it. Go out and represent. Why not support Christian clothing lines and some of these other mainstream brands that may have some values and support some things that we don't even agree with. We got options now.
Yeah.
And we got good options, right? So support Christian clothing lines for real. So we had the fashion show. That was amazing. Then the next day we moved into the actual conference, and we had 7 workshop tracks. Talk a little bit about the workshop tracks. We did 3 breakout workshop times during the conference.
We had the youth workers, right? We had
Urban Youth Workers Institute sponsored
the
youth ministry track.
We had a business and entrepreneurship track, which was phenomenal. That one stayed.
That one was packed.
Yeah, it stayed packed.
Yeah.
We had a lot of these artists who were
everybody's an entrepreneur now.
Oh yeah,
after the pandemic.
We had the unapologetics. Hear me?
Apologetics.
Urban apologetics. Urban apologetics that we had.
Yeah, the Truth in there.
Yep.
Eric Mason was in there.
Yeah.
And Vocab Malone.
Those were good tracks too, man.
Talking about Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. It was good stuff.
Good stuff. We had the church planners track.
Yep.
Another good one.
Yep.
For those pastors. We had the crossover church kind of track where they can learn more about what we do.
Yep. Church innovation
Church
track.
innovation. Then we had for our kids, right?
Yep.
We had a track for
pastors' kids or ministry leaders' kids. And that was the first time we did that.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. There was about 20 teenagers that were in there.
It was awesome.
And so we're going to do that again. So if you want to come to Flavorfest next time and if you have some teenagers, you want to bring them, they can fellowship with some other teenagers that are ministries kids.
Yeah.
My daughter was in there and she really enjoyed it. It was super helpful.
Shout out to AI and Maddie Ray who did those, man.
They did the workshops.
They touched those kids, man.
Loved them.
Yeah, they loved them. Those kids
great.
loved them.
Okay, so you're missing one more workshop.
Who we missing?
I know what it is. I'm just trying to test you, man. It's the biggest one, too.
Was it the biggest one?
It was. It's in the gym. I'm going to give you a hint.
Oh, music?
Yes. The artist track.
The artist track.
The artist business and music track.
Yes.
And there's so many people that go to that one because we got a lot of artists that come to Flavorfest. There's probably about 100 people in that track. Great networking happens. People build together.
Track Stars did one. Yeah, they had a good one there.
They did a panel in there.
Yeah.
Ruslan did something in there.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. Good
tracks, man. And this year was the first time we were able to live stream multiple tracks too. So that was actually really interesting from the production side of it. When I know they said something about, what if we could live stream this thing? And I was like, live stream, no problem. But then it was like, well, what if we could live stream multiple tracks? How can we do that? So that was a lot of fun. It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but it was a lot of fun. And it was worth it. In my book, it was worth it because people watched those.
They did.
So it was good.
Yeah. So that was the breakout workshops. Then we had some fire general sessions.
Yeah, we did.
We had a general session actually. We had Scott Free, we had Tony Collier, we had Michael Carrion from the Bronx. I got to speak in the same session as him. Then Saturday morning, we had KB and Amin, and they actually set it up like a Southside Rabbi podcast.
Yeah, it was really good, man. Very interesting information. People were very attentive to that, had so many questions, wanted to know more about it. It was definitely, you could not take your eyes off the stage. Your ears were open, your hearts were ready, because they dropped some bombs in there.
Yeah. Here's actually a shout out from one half of the Southside Rabbi Squad. Here's a little shout out from Amin talking about it.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Amin the Dream, one half of Southside Rabbi. I want to talk about us being at Flavorfest. As some of you seen, we were at Flavorfest, me and KB, for a session there, and it was an amazing time. Just had an amazing experience, as Flavorfest always is. It's good to get back and see everybody in person. And it was great. I think everyone was there, eager to learn, eager just to know God, eager for the Word of God. Great fellowship. Eric Mason did a great job. And so, man, if you're not coming to Flavorfest, man, you have to be there. You have to be there next year. You got to check it out. You got to come.
Yeah, so then like the very last general session on Saturday had Pastor Eric Mason from Philly.
Oof, man.
Man, he shut it down.
He had to literally, he had to stop. He literally had to stop. It was like, you know what? I got to stop, because he was gone. And we were hungry. The people were ready for it, but it was
we got to give him more time next time. But let's show everybody a little clip of that. We want to give you guys a little bit of experience of Flavorfest. We're showing you some different stuff. And you can go watch the full one on this on the Flavorfest YouTube channel. So check it out.
But what Satan wants to do is want to make God's boundaries to you look like bondage. And what ends up happening is you never focus on, listen to me, you never focus on the freedom, because my Bible says in Galatians chapter 5, verse 1, for freedom Christ has set us free. He whom the Son sets free is free indeed. But what the enemy wants to do is he wants you to focus on what you can't have as a mechanism of God being restrictive and a party pooper. And see, many of us are deconstructing. Our deconstruction is really moral. Some folk deconstruction, they just want to be a hoe. It ain't really like the Bible has changed, or it came out of Egypt, or with the original Hebrew. That's not really it. You just really don't want to do what God says, so you're trying to find an apologetic to be a fool. But what happens is Satan progressively breaks down your guard from seeing God correctly. Every one of you who is leaders, he's after you.
All right, so that was the daytime conference stuff. But the icing, that's the meat of it, y'all. But the icing on the cake that a lot of people always talk about and get super hype about is the festival concerts.
Yes.
In the evening, we bring in some of the top names in Christian hip-hop. We have a lot of indies that open up. There's a lot of other activities happening throughout the building. So, man, Pastor D, talk about some of the artists that were here this year, man. Who were some of your favorites that stood out? Maybe who were some indies that stood out?
Some indies that stood out.
Because you were doing production. You were backstage production.
Yeah, the production side of this part right here, if you've ever been to Flavorfest, if you've ever seen it, if you've ever heard of it, this is where the production is like, woo. So just imagine, what do we got, 20-something artists, 25, 27, I felt like 30 artists.
Well, per night, it's around 20-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
feels like 30.
Yeah.
But so all that production having to go together and have them all lined up,
keep it moving, keep it on time.
That's a lot of production, but absolutely phenomenal. So I'm a little biased. Came over to crossover from Daytona. One of my favorite artists is definitely Crew for Jesus. I love them. They are Daytona indie artists. I just like the dance moves they put with it as well. I'm definitely almost everybody that comes from ATL, kind of that crossover ATL, I'm a fan. Like double ATL, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Like I'm a fan of them.
Shout out to crossover
but
ATL.
This year, the female artists, they put it down. They held it down this year.
Somebody else from the East Coast of Florida, Bianca Love
held it down. We had one half of Bridgewater, and by herself, she killed it.
Yeah.
AI's performance was phenomenal.
AI, the Anomaly.
Maddie Ray always goes over and beyond. We had Jecka Soul.
Yep.
Phenomenal. Like this.
The
phenomenal.
females are they
came out. Yeah, they was like, fellas,
right
we
now.
got y'all. We right here with y'all. They killed it, man. We had a bunch of incredible indie artists, incredible music, man. But
Yeah.
you know what I love about it's great music, but I really got a chance this year because I had a bigger team to listen to more lyrics, and the messages in these songs are so powerful.
Yeah.
Like you can hear a lot of testimony in their music and everything. So while it's hype and everybody's doing their thing, man, if you heard the message in a lot of these, they were great. But he kicked off night number 1, I think it was, Monster
Tarver.
Bro.
Monster.
He had me so hyped, bro. Monster
man.
had me so hyped.
He's a
So-
big dude, man. He came
Yeah.
out in his tank top, and everybody, a lot of
hat
people,
tilted all the way
got
down.
scared.
Yeah, man. He was like, yo. He said, praise the Lord. Yeah, praise the Lord, bro.
If you don't know Monster Tarver, go look him up, man. He's rocking with Dayton and the God Over Money guys, Menace Movement.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. He used to be in the WWE. He's a power lifter and stuff now.
Yeah, man.
Good dude. He represents right here from Tampa as well. Tampa, we got some artists,
There's
man.
some artists here, man.
We do, man.
It was honestly a great night for the concerts.
Yeah, what I loved, man, is the artists were like so hungry, man.
Yeah.
Because for many of them, this was their first time to perform
Mm-hmm.
in like almost 2 years, and so they were like ready, man. And so that was some of the indies and some of the national artists we had. We had Brian Brian Trejo on Friday night. We had Ruslan. We had Zonti. We had Phil the Voice. We had KB.
Yep.
We had
Dayton's my favorite. I'm
Dayton,
putting
of
it out
course.
there. He's my favorite.
Man, I mean, there was just so much great talent that we had this year, man. Everybody did an incredible job. And then we did something new. I want to talk about this for a minute. We did
What we
something
did?
new this
Okay.
year. We did the Battle of the Elements.
Yeah.
Now, in the past, we've done a beat battle for many years. We've been known for that. Rapzilla partnered with us to do that for some of the years, and Trackstars did it. But this year, we said, you know what? We've been doing this 20 years, and we always like to change things up. I think that's a big reason why Flavorfest is still around, because we don't always just do the same thing that's predictable. We introduce new things. We take some things away. We remix some things. We tweak some things.
Yeah.
So it's always, there's some fresh things every time at Flavorfest. And so I came up with this idea. I'm like, let's not just do a beat battle, and we do a breakdancing battle as well, but let's include more of the elements. So came up with this thing called the Battle of the Elements. So we had a 16-bar challenge for MCs, which we never did before, and that was crazy. Like we had over 100 people that entered that on Instagram, and we whittled that down to 12. So Dayton, Ruslan, and KJ52 were the judges.
Yeah.
They whittled it down to 12. And then we had preliminary rounds in the Kids Church Auditorium here in the building. And I thought there was going to be like 20 people back there.
Packed.
Bro, there was a big cipher circle, like 150 people packed in there.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
packed
people
that
were
place.
excited, bro,
Yeah.
about the 16-bar challenge. Like that's got some life to it.
Yeah.
That's going to be even bigger when we do it next
Because even
year.
when we came to the auditorium, people were like at the stage, like, I mean,
Yeah.
eyes were open. Nobody blinked. Nobody wanted to miss anything that was
Yeah.
happening. These guys was going off. It was crazy.
It was crazy. So we had the 16-bar challenge. We had a beatbox battle. We had a graffiti battle. The graffiti battle was on time-lapse videos, which was pretty creative and cool. We're going to have live graffiti next time outside, though, not in the building. Everybody will get high from all the spray aerosol. Then we had the breakdancing battle. We had a DJ battle for the first time, and that was unique because it was the Crossover Church ATL DJ.
Battle of the crossover
DJ
DJs.
Radical versus DJ Serve 1, who's the crossover 813,
Yeah.
the crossover Tampa DJ. And, so me and Pastor Scott, were going on, it's my DJ versus your
Yeah.
DJ. We were
That was-
hosting
that
that
was
part.
great.
It was fun, but his DJ won. Radicals. He's an OG, man. I mean, Serve is no joke, though.
Yeah, he's
I'm
no
telling
joke.
you. He is no joke, but
But old school came and was like, I got it.
he had some old school beats and stuff in there that the crowd just went bananas for.
Yeah.
But that was super dope. And then, of course, we did the beat battle. And, man, you could watch all this. All the Battle of the Elements is on the Flavorfest YouTube channel. So go over there, watch it. It was amazing. It's just the beginning of it. We're going to do it again at the next Flavorfest. So stay tuned. If you have a talent or skill in one of the elements, man, jump in and enter it. Everyone that won each category got a $200 cash prize, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, that wasn't
That'll get
bad.
people to enter.
That wasn't bad, y'all. That wasn't bad.
No.
So Yeah, talk about 2022, Pastor D. Where's it
So
going to be?
2022, I know people may have saw in the magazine, oh, we're going to Atlanta, and then you heard, oh, we're going to Atlanta.
Like a little rumor.
We're staying right here in Tampa in 2022. We're going to do it here. Again, don't know what's going to happen after that, but we will be here in 2022. So I'm excited for that, though.
It is in Tampa, y'all. So mark your calendars, October the 6th through the 9th. Little backstory, we love Crossover ATL. They're not ready quite yet to do the conference yet. So we're hoping in 2023 we'll be able to take it up to Crossover Church ATL. But it's going to be here in Tampa. And in 2022, like, we're going to have the whole building's going to be remixed next year, bro.
It's going to be a totally different vibe.
When you walk in the parking lot, you're going to be like, okay. Like, we're about to do a major renovation at Crossover Church. Pray for us. We have the permits that are in with the city right now. So we are going to be building a coffee shop. We already have the money raised for the next phase. So we're just waiting on the permits. So pray for us that early in 2022, we'll get construction going and get that popped off. It's only going to take about 4 to 6 weeks to do. The whole lobby's going to be remodeled. We're putting a second floor in, even part of the parking lot there's going to be a second floor with a sidewalk outside and a big seating area. We're going to be opening this coffee shop that's going to be open 7 days a week.
Yeah,
the whole lobby's going to be remodeled. New lighting, new flooring, new paint. It's going to be bananas. And then we are praying and planning on doing some major remodel stuff in the main auditorium.
It's happening. It's going to happen.
It's happening, baby. So I'm not even going to give it away. Like, you just got to keep following us, and we'll give you some glimpses and some little shots of it as it's developing.
Yeah.
But pray for us. We're super excited. I think it'll be great that it's going to be back here in 2022 because our building's going to have a whole fresh new look and renovation. We've been thriving during this pandemic. We're coming out of it even stronger, and we're able to do new stuff to take things to the next level with technology and remodeling spaces and really creating more of an experience even more. Because that's what people need now. Like, because you can go online and stream worship. You could stream good preaching and teaching from places. But we want people to come here and get that in person, but get an experience.
Yeah.
Like, we can't stream you the fellowship that's going to happen in the coffee shop. We can't stream you a cup of coffee. We can't stream you the memories that you're going to make. We can't stream you the vibe of when you're in a room with people and God's presence just comes in and drops. And there's something special about that. So you got to be in person at Flavorfest 2022. Make your plans, y'all. It is October the 6th through the 9th. Flavorfest.org is where you can get all the information. You got anything else to say, Pastor D?
No, I mean, I would just say thank you guys so much for honestly coming and supporting. But not only that, from the production side of it really does make myself and my team feel good. I think there wasn't a time when I was able to just even go down the hallway. I was going down the hallways just to check classrooms, make sure stuff was together. And I don't think there was a time that I was able to get down a hallway without somebody saying, thank you so much for what you're doing. I see you running around here. This is amazing. Or even just the question of, how are you doing this? Just like literally asking those questions. From a production standpoint, that makes me feel good. It really does. It makes me feel good, for our team to feel good, because we really do work hard on these things. We work hard to make sure. Some of y'all don't even realize that there are so many nights that you just almost don't even sleep. We get here so early in the morning. We leave here so late at night. Just to give that experience and make sure that you guys feel great. And so thank you so much to everybody that's, complimented us and followed us and said, man, you guys are doing an outstanding job. So yeah, I would say thank you.
Yeah, that's why we do what we do, y'all. We do it for Jesus, and we do it to train you guys and equip you and help you. That's why we have this podcast. That's why we do the conference. We want to help other leaders win.
Yeah.
I'm passionate about that, and God is doing something special here in our church. And we want to share that with others. We want you to take some nuggets and make it even better in your spot. And then as we bring in other urban practitioners that do workshops and train and speak at Flavorfest as well, God's doing great things in their cities. And we want you to see that, because we know sometimes in urban ministry you could feel lonely. You could be tired. You could be worn out. You could feel like, man, nobody gets this. And listen, you are not alone in this. We're here cheering you on, praying for you. Want to help you in any way we can. So, hey, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to it. Stay locked in. We're always going to be producing more and more content to help you guys win. I also do a coaching network for pastors. So if you're a pastor or a church planner, you could go over to translationleadership.com. You can get some information on that. Sign up for the coaching network. There's a couple dozen pastors that are a part of that. There's still room for you if you want to jump in. And the last thing I'll say is this is probably the last time this is going to be this kind of setup for this podcast. We're switching things up for 2022. Probably before 2022, we're going to give you a glimpse, but we are building a podcast studio here at Crossover Church where we are actually going to have the ability to go live on YouTube and really continue to grow this and reach more and more people. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of new stuff that we're going to be doing in 2022. We're investing a lot in different equipment and just different learning and knowledge so we could get better to be able to bring stuff to you even quicker and more often. So again, lock into the channel, subscribe, let some other people know about it. And hey, we're praying for y'all, and we will see you on the next episode, which might be live. So subscribe and stay tuned and pay attention. God bless you guys. Much love. Thanks for tuning into the Flavorfest Urban Leadership Podcast. Stay connected with us on social media at UrbanD813 and at Flavorfest. We'll talk to you guys next week. Peace and God bless.